Hello everyone. I'm going to do a quick video on the pink daisies that I did. I posted that on my social media platforms recently. It was very well received, and since a lot of you seem to like it, I'll demo how I did it, and hopefully it'll help you. Let's go back and take a look at what I had here. Ignore this one on top. That was a different piece. But here it is right here. Very similar to the sunflower one I did. Very simple composition, 3 flowers, there's the centers, some dark greens around it, some blue sky above, loose, open, some scraping. Very simple, straightforward. And so that's what we're going to try to emulate and reproduce here again. So, let me lay the paper flat. Got my number 2 lead pencil here. Just do the same basic thing, yeah, about there. Let's see my top one. This is just my basic layout. I want to kind of get the sense for how large to make my petals. I always kind of like some of the 1 or 2 petals, you know, the missing. I think that just makes them a little bit more interesting. All right, so there we go. And my basic process is a 3-step process. 1, do the sketch, which I've just done. 2, add my watercolor graphite to establish my values, especially my darks and midtones. And then 3, have fun with color at the very end. And then should be done. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's set that aside. I use my Hake brush here, which is this one, the natural hair brush. This is a Ron Ransom brush. He was an Englishman. And then a lot of times it's 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch flat nylon brush. I use them interchangeably. They're virtually the same in my view, except that the nylon comes to a finer chisel, as you can see here on the end, a chisel point, and has a sharper corner. It's really only significant in my view if you're doing something where you want to be more accurate, like you're doing the eye on an animal or a face or something of that nature, where you want to really have greater control in not losing the image too much. Other than that, I use the 2 brushes interchangeably. I'm going to use just my regular Hake. He's good and reliable. Jump right into it. Here's our watercolor graphite. I'm going to just lay in my darks here. Again, I'm left-handed. My source of light is always, as a general rule, number 1 rule is where's our source of light? Being left-handed, unless I put the source of light into painting itself, it'll be by default off the page at 10 o'clock. If I were right-handed, it would be off the page at 2 o'clock. So being left-handed, I will have it off the page at 10 o'clock. I'll leave myself a little highlight on these. I'm going to put this as establishing my darks. Now I paint loose like this, but I kind of want to block in where I'm at. So there we go. It's fun to do this because it goes pretty quick. Now, make our pink daisies. Here's pink. This is Taylor's pink. This is a cheap Joe color. Now when you put the paint on, same thing with the watercolor graphite, put it on. So I put that on, and then again I have about 1.5 minutes to make up my mind what I'm going to do. All right, so it's dry brush. Come in here and get that nice dry brush look to it. But nothing happens until I put the paint on. So I got to put the paint on, and then I take up my adjustment as to whether I'm going to lift off a little bit, I'm going to scrape through it, whatever it is I'm going to do. I make up my mind. Same thing down here with these guys. And I like to mix on the paper as opposed to in the palette. I mix a lot of times on the paper like this. And there's times where I overdo it. We all do. And it's like, whoops. But a lot of times you can Those might be happy accidents, or you just go with it. Or you can lift off. As you get more confident with it, you find out you can lift off and replace things. And here I have a hair coming out of my brush. But I'm just acting confidently. I'm not worried about things too much. If I need a little more pink, okay, put a little more pink in there. No big deal. Now I can scrape through. This might scrape a little better. This is a quarrel tip on the end of this brush, which is meant to do this kind of stuff. Scraping through it. Scrape out from my center of interest. Out. Same thing down here. Okay, let's do our greens. A lot of times I would recommend mixing your secondary colors. Green is a secondary color, made from blue and yellow, as we all know. But I bought these old paint sets, and I was brought up, you don't waste things. I should just give it away to the grade school kids, not nearby grade school, but I'm using them up here. Okay, now again, sort of losing my edges. Let's do our sky up here. And I love the cerulean blue, cobalt blue combination. I just love that combination. Now I'm going to try to use gravity and make that work for me when I do my skies. All right, come on now. Now I'm going to stay back from my flower. And I've been sort of the human eye likes to complete objects. So I'm going to play with it and let the human eye do that here. Sort of all that we've done. I want it larger up here, or darker up here, at the very top. Okay. I'm sort of watching my outside edges there. Okay. Lay it flat again. Sort of let it, I tip it up like that to control where it's going to run. I want to really stab in my little highlights. Give him a little more. Okay. It can be overdone. I kind of like that. Well, I'm thinking that's pretty good. I think we're there. I'll let that dry, just room temperature. I'm liking that. I'm thinking that is successful. Let's take a quick look at, there's the other one, the preceding one. Similar, a little bit darker here. Or not too bad. I think ours still works. I think it's good. So there it is. So yeah, do your sketch, do your watercolor underpainting, establish your values, and have fun with color. 1, 2, 3. This is a real simple way to work. And when I learned how to do this, or discovered how to do it, others have probably discovered it too, but I felt my art took a big leap forward. Things became simpler, easier to do. And give it a try. I hope this helps everyone. If you like it, please give me a like, and please subscribe to my channel. If there's any questions you have, please let me know, and I'll come back with other demonstrations and how to explain things and show you how I might approach various art projects. Thanks. Bye-bye.